Hi, everybody. Welcome to the webinar. I'm Roland Hamilton. Also presenting for you today is Bob Gentner. Bob,
Hi,
how are you?
everybody. Thanks for joining us today.
So here's a quick look at the topics we'd like to cover today. We're going to give you a little background on the technology behind laser projection, some of its benefits to your clients and customers, top applications. As you've guessed, probably want to tell you a little bit about our family of laser products. And we are going to answer the top 5 questions that we received during the registration process. And we noticed that these questions, or the most common questions, were really questions that we get from customers and end users all the time. And while at this point, laser projection is not necessarily a brand new topic anymore. You know, this is not our first webinar on laser technology. It's been around for a little bit now. These questions are still very relevant, and in reviewing all the questions that came in during registration, it became apparent that there's a lot of misconceptions, perhaps, and there's still not a lot of definitive information. So while this topic is not brand new, the information is still very relevant because having the correct answers to these most common questions is going to let you be better sources of information for your customers and clients, and make you better dealers and better salespeople and better equipped to serve the markets. We're going to give away a QuickCast Pro starter kit. Very excited about that, as I'm sure are you. Do familiarize yourself with the question and answer dialog box as part of the webinar toolbar. That is where you are going to have to enter a response for your chance to win the QuickCast Pro kit. And we will probably not be able to get to questions on the webcast. There are a lot of people on today's webcast, but if you have any questions at all, please enter them into that question dialog box, and we will follow up with you and answer them in follow-up. So when we're talking about laser projection, we're talking about the light source. What's generating the light that comes out of the projector versus the imaging technology. So as you may already know, all Optoma projectors feature DLP from Texas Instrument. The DLP chip from Texas Instrument is what's making the pixels. What's making the light source, lamp versus LED versus laser. Some of the other illumination or light source technologies out there are LED, which is great, but it's very difficult to produce projectors that are over about 4,000 lumens of brightness. Lamps, as we know, were the standard for a very long time, but you have to replace the bulbs, and it's expensive. It creates downtime. It's wasteful and environmentally harmful. And there's laser phosphor. Some other types of laser technology in the marketplace are hybrid laser. So laser combined with LED, sort of a hybrid light source. And there's also RGB laser, also known as pure laser, which incorporates red, green, and blue lasers as the light source. Hence the name pure laser. Each of the primary colors has its own dedicated pure lasers, but those you will find are you're only going to find that technology in 30, 40,000 lumen plus digital true cinema projectors, shall we say. Laser phosphor is really known for its affordability, compact size, and the other benefits we're going to talk about. So let's talk about how the laser phosphor light engine actually functions. You see here in the diagram at the bottom right, you've got your blue laser banks. The vast majority of Optoma laser projectors are blue laser only. So the laser diodes that are in there are just producing blue light. And then labeled number 1 on the diagram, the blue lasers energize a phosphor wheel. And the phosphor wheel, it's a very unique substance that's made out of. It's very similar to glow-in-the-dark substances where they're charged. Light charges it and then it emits a different spectrum. So the blue lasers energize the phosphor wheel, which then produces green and yellow light. And then there's some blank sections in the phosphor wheel that the blue light passes straight through. So you then get to the color filter wheel labeled 2 here. And at that point, the filter wheel is able to derive the red from the yellow light produced at the phosphor wheel. So starting from just a blue light source, utilizing the phosphor wheel and filters, we can arrive at the primary colors. And from there, utilizing the DLP technology, the image is created, the pixels are created, and through the lens, just like any other projector, and onto the screen. So this is the basic internal workings, very basic, of laser phosphor projection with blue laser only. Important to note here, worthwhile noting, is the fact that red is the limiting factor. So if you take laser diode banks of X amount of power and you say, okay, how much brightness can I produce? The amount of red you can produce is always going to be the limiting factor. Hence, in some of our brightest, highest end, shall we say, projectors, these are our, 7,500 lumen and up. Some of them a selection are multicolor laser, where we have included red laser diodes in addition to the blue lasers to really boost the all-around color performance as well as brightness. And this multicolor laser architecture, we're not only just adding red laser diodes, the architecture, the design of the whole light engine is more robust in the projectors that feature multicolor laser technology. So we're going to talk about how they're dust sealed and ingress protection rated. The multicolor lasers are going to be even that highest step, and they're essentially dust proof, which can help when it comes to operating in harsh environments, which in terms of a projector is kind of around theatrical fog, that sort of thing. So here we see the most important benefits of laser projection versus lamp. As you probably already know, the light source lasts an incredibly long amount of time. With Optoma projectors, they're rated for a minimum of 20,000 hours. Most of the projectors that we are bringing to market now, we've upped that to about 30,000 hours. In fact, when we first released the product, we were cautious because we literally didn't have enough amount of time to test and get data on how long the light source actually lasts. So when we came out with the original 20,000 hour specifications, we were being a bit conservative there. So basically, you will never have to worry about the light source, never have to change a bulb. There are no filters in our DLP projectors anyway, not just in our laser projectors, but no Optoma projector ships with a filter. You never have to worry about filters, and the light source will essentially last for the lifespan of the product. This inherently brings down the total cost of ownership. We're going to come back to that point. Laser projection also performs better than lamp projection in terms of its color reproduction. When the human eye is taking in an image, a lot of what we perceive as brightness is actually color saturation and accurate color. And because laser versus lamp, laser is inherently a more precise light source. When they come off the factory assembly line, one is going to produce the exact same spectrum as the next, whereas in lamp, there's a little bit more inherent variance. So laser, because the colors are so precise, it's perceived as being brighter than a lamp projector, even though the brightness specification may be the same. So better brightness and color performance. This ingress protection, IP5X, IP6X, IP5X, you can consider that dust resistant, and IP6X being dust proof. The X, by the way, not a lot of people know this. X represents the fact that it's not rated for waterproof. Like if your iPhone, for example, might be IP67, which means it has a 6-level rating against solid particle ingress, and then the second number would be the the water ingress protection. X means it's not rated for water ingress protection, as you would guess. When it comes to installation flexibility, laser has quite a big benefit over lamp technology. Most lamp projectors, the vast majority, can only be placed in your standard tabletop or ceiling mount. You can't turn them typically into portrait orientation. Like I want to make a tall image as opposed to a wide image. You can do that with laser. We have several dealers and lots of installations out there doing unique things like projecting on the floor, projectors projecting down on tabletops from the ceiling. You can do this with laser where you can't do it with lamp. So some flexibility there. Also quick on off. I'm sure everybody at one time or another has inadvertently turned off a lamp-based projector, and you found that you have to wait a few minutes. The fan goes into a overdrive cycle and you have to wait. Projector locks up. You can't turn it back on. Laser projectors, you can turn them on and off almost as quickly as the television, basically instantly. The performance, and when you come into a room and we're going to use the projector now, it's just a much better experience. And laser projector is inherently much more environmentally friendly because you're not discarding those mercury lamps into the garbage. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Bob to discuss some of the top applications for laser projection.
Great. Thanks, Roland. Yeah, I just wanted to cover some of the applications that we have here. If you look at the command and control, the rental and staging, the digital signage, you're going to see that these applications require that the projector runs for long hours. So a lamp-based projector is typically limited to 6 or 8 hours at a time, where with the laser projector, you can run them 12 hours or 24 hours consecutively, or 24 by 7. So you can continuously use laser projection. Looking at house of worship type installations, typically the projector is up in the rafters or up high in a cathedral type ceiling. Very difficult to get to, and you'll find that it'll take a couple of technicians to come in, raise a lift, and then access the lamp compartment on a projector, and that's not an issue with the laser projectors, obviously. In university and education, K through 12, you're looking at lecture halls and classrooms. And again, the usage could be 8 hours a day easily. You may want to run the projector for 8 hours straight without turning it off. Or again, with the laser projector, you can turn it on and turn it off consecutively between classes, and you know it's going to start up right away, which is not the case with the lamp projectors. Some other applications, Roland mentioned that you can put these in 360-degree applications as well as portrait mode. So some of the unique applications you might see is projecting on the side of buildings, onto ships in some cases, or other types of architecture. So you might be projecting the angle at the projection angle at a number of different angles. Also, you could put it in portrait mode and set it up for a portrait mode setting. And also, in many cases, you may have a installation where you're using a globe or a dome for projection. And again, the laser projector can shine up directly from the bottom using a specified dome lens, and you can fill that image. And again, that's something we couldn't do previously with lamp projectors. So some of the different solutions that we offer, Optoma has a number of projectors that are available. We start with our high-end products. That's the Pro Scene series of projectors. These are typically for larger auditorium, large venue applications. We have products that range from 6,000 up to 10,000 lumens now. And as mentioned, they have all these different features, the DuraCore, the projection angles, 24/7 operation. They do come with a 5-year light source warranty on these products. And these range in resolution from WUXGA to 4K UHD. So the top 2 tier of projectors that you see there require an optional lens. So you buy the projector body and you purchase that optional glass lens that comes with the projector. So basically, you pick the lens based on the application. It could be a short throw, a long throw. You can select that projector lens. Also new to our product line in the last year are the 720 products. These are short throw product and also a zoom lens product. So you have a 1.8 times zoom on one of these products. The key benefit here is that you have that 7,000 to 7,500 lumen rating on these products that was typically only available on the products with optional lenses. This provides a much more aggressive price point. So educators, they might have an assembly hall or lecture halls, house of worship. We're finding that many more of these type of products are being purchased now, where previously those customers were limited to maybe a 5,000 or 6,000 lumen projector, and they're stepping up to these new products. Also, we have a full line of laser projectors. These are all laser products. We have some lamp-based projectors in each one of these categories as well. So as you look at the full line of standard projectors, these come with the integrated lenses. You can have a zoom lens on these products or a short throw lens, which is really popular with our golf simulators. You see these in classrooms, driver simulators. So there's a big market for these right now, and ultra short throw projectors as well, which are typically used in classrooms and also for digital signage and display where you need maybe a very difficult setup for a projector where a long throw lens won't work and a standard lens, you just don't have a mounting space for it. The ultra short throw projector is a great option. Again, 4,000 to 6,000 lumens. These products do have zoom lenses or the short throw lenses. And recently we launched the ZW400 and the ZW403, which are really the first products that we had in the laser lineup that came in under $1,000. So again, that opened up a whole new list of customers that were buying laser projectors and education for corporate meeting rooms, where previously the price point was just too high to have a laser projector. Kind of focusing on the ZU720 series of projectors. Again, very bright, used for a large venue display, wide UXGA resolution. We have the two lenses available, the short throw, and kind of unique for a short throw projector is to have a zoom lens that has a 0.75 to 0.95 zoom on it. And the other zoom lens is a 1.4 to 2.15. So that covers a great deal of the installations you have out there, accepting the long throw applications. These have powered lenses. You have an HD-based T connection on these products. These also have integrated image warping that allows you to align the image, the projected image, to a curved screen or a curved wall. And then blending allows you to overlap several projected images. About 20% of the image width or height can be overlapped to create one large image. So you can blend those and color match those images as well. And then again, of course, these have the compact, lightweight design. So again, the ZU720 series is a great product for these entry auditorium installations. Looking at the meeting room products, again, 4,000 to 6,000 lumens. One of the unique features on these is the 4K UHD HDR input. We've had some questions about that. It's like, okay, it's a WXGA projector. Does that mean it can display 4K? But basically, it just takes that signal and processes it to display it at the native resolution of the projector. The benefit is that you can display the HDR content, which is better color saturation. You might see better contrast and better white levels with those images. So again, we have a number of different throw ratios available, including short throw and ultra short throw products. Many of these products have different types of, it could have a vertical lens shift or a keystone correction. Some have four corner correction. So you'll have to look at the specific product to determine what type of keystoning or vertical lens shift it has. They do have a 12-volt screen trigger. And again, these are nice, small, compact chassis that are typically under 10 pounds. We also have a number of laser projectors in our consumer product line now as well. In the last year or so, we've issued several new products. We have a UHZ65LV, which is a bright home theater projector. The Cinema XP2 is an ultra short throw cinema projector. It's a 4K resolution. And then the HZ39 HDR and GT1090 are 1080p projectors. One is a short throw and one is a standard throw with a zoom lens. So we've had a number of questions come in prior to the tech talk. We just wanted to address those questions today. The first question is, how can I justify the added cost of purchasing a laser projector versus a simple lamp or a similar lamp-based projector?
Thanks, Bob. So we get this one a lot. You know, the only drawback or perceived drawback to laser projection is the higher initial upfront cost. So if we look at the left side of the table that's being displayed, you see that we're comparing two 5,000 lumen projectors. They're very similar in their feature sets, but the laser projector is about $1,000 US over the cost of the lamp projector. And because, as we've discussed, the laser projector is going to incur no maintenance. So as the lamp projector ages, it's going to incur service at these different intervals. And we have we've assumed at the bottom of the screen, we've assumed some cost here for the price of the we know the price of the lamp is accurate, but the labor is an assumed cost. And so after 1, 2, and 3 lamp intervals, we see the total cost of ownership of the lamp projector increases. And somewhere in between the second and third lamp service, the total cost of owning the lamp projector actually starts to exceed the cost of owning the laser projector. I would point out, though, that right around the second lamp service, and this varies by model, and it obviously varies by what it's costing the end user for service, but some point right around this second lamp change is when you get very close to breaking even, right? And at this point, realize that the customer has been enjoying the other benefits we talked about since the projector was the laser projector was brand new. So they've been enjoying the better color performance and better perceived brightness. They didn't have to incur, and probably most importantly, there was no first lamp service with the laser projector. So if it was in a conference room, a boardroom, even a classroom, when the projector goes down because it needs a lamp replacement, there's cost associated, whether it's a business or education setting, that's rather inconvenient and it can be costly. So the fact that the laser projector just keeps on doing its job and doesn't require these service intervals is really quite valuable. So the point being, you know, the prices, because the market has moved away from lamp and towards laser, the vast majority, you know, 4 years ago, the vast majority of our projectors were lamp and we had a few laser, and now it's the opposite. The vast majority are laser and we have a few lamp. They're inherently, in some cases, a little more expensive initially, but when you look over the lifespan of the unit, it's that upfront premium is very quickly realized in both performance and total cost of ownership down the road. And the second question, Bob, you can answer this one. Do laser projectors lose brightness over time?
Yeah, that's another misconception that's out there, is many people think that the laser is maintains that same brightness for 20,000 hours and all of a sudden just shuts down. But the way the laser projectors work is that they do gradually fade in brightness over 20,000 hours or maybe 30,000 hours. You'll see that projector go to about 50% the original brightness. So again, a 10,000 lumen projector could go down to 5,000 lumens after 20,000 or 30,000 hours. And we've seen different things happen with the brightness of these laser diodes. Sometimes you'll start at a level and the projector will fade a little bit and then brighten up a little bit again and then fade again. So sometimes the laser diodes act differently than a lamp that would just gradually fade away. A laser diode can change brightnesses over time. But typically what you'll see is that over that 20,000 hours, it's going to be typically about 50% of the original brightness. An example is that if you had a lamp-based projector that's rated at a 4,000 hour lamp life, you'll have to swap it out. So it's going to go from, say, a 5,000 lumen projector down to 2,500 lumens over 4,000 hours. So you're going to see a lot of color shift and a lot of changes in the calibration that you might have set. Whereas a laser projector, that's only going to be 92% of the original brightness. So that's going to maintain a lot of that brightness without a lot of added calibration that might be required. Also, another nice feature on many of the high-end products is that we have a constant brightness setting. So the benefit there is you could put it at an 80% of the original brightness or at full brightness and maintain that brightness for a long period of time. So in this case, it could be up to 12,000 hours at that constant brightness. And the way that works is that the diodes, they typically fade a little bit over time, like we said, but the projector itself can add additional power to that diode to brighten it back up again. So you maintain that brightness for a long period of time, that's a great benefit, especially if you have edge blending or a lot of calibration that you did at the original setup of the projector. Another question that came in is, can the laser engine be replaced? And if so, at what cost?
Yeah, absolutely, Bob. We get that question quite a bit from end users as well as our dealers. The short answer is yes. We can, at our technical service center in Fremont, California, which is in the same location as our North America headquarters. We also have our tech service center where we perform warranty and out of warranty repair. We can service the light source on these laser projectors. So say you had a projector in a hotel lobby projecting whatever it is, and it literally runs 24 hours a day. And over the course of a couple years, they have in fact burned out the light source over several years. It would take. The laser diode banks can be replaced. If you take the span of our entry level laser projectors up to our highest end, the cost of that's going to range somewhere between $500 and $900 ballpark, for parts and labor plus shipping, to get that laser light source replaced. So if you want an answer to that question, that's the answer. But taking a step back and just looking at the bigger picture, 4 years ago or thereabouts, a 5,000 lumen laser projector cost about $5,000. And today, a similar model costs about under $2,500. And in fact, I would say it's even come down a little bit since we developed the content. But the point being is that over the course of 4 years, the price is basically cut in half thereabouts. And so if you consider that all Optoma laser projectors, the light source is warranted for at least 5 years or 12,000 hours, which is quite a long amount of actual use if you do the math. The point is that I think you'll find that in the vast majority of use cases, it would take you quite a long time to actually burn out the light source, at which point the price will have likely come down so much, on a better projector, that it'll be a more appealing option to just replace it. Because 4 years from now, we will probably be selling 8K resolution projectors, and who knows what other exciting features Optoma will be bringing to market. So the short answer is yes, you can replace the diodes. The more complicated answer is that you probably won't ever want to. And the next question for Bob, do laser projectors run hotter than their lamp counterparts?
I think with the initial launch of laser projection they did run a little bit hotter, but over time, we've been able to make them, design them so that they run actually cooler and actually use less energy than the lamp-based projectors. Um, as you know, the light from the laser diodes is more concentrated from the laser projectors, whereas a lamp is trying to, runs very hot after a while, after it warms up, and it does take a while to cool down, but we can continuously cool the laser projectors. And we have found that with many of our current products that if you take comparable lamp-based and laser-based projectors, that the laser projectors run more efficiently. They use about 5 or 10% less energy than a lamp-based projector. And also we have different designs with the higher end products. We don't have any lamp-based projectors anymore that are over 6,000 lumens, but what we're looking at is a different design that has happened over time. Is we're making these more energy efficient, and they run cooler now due to a number of technical changes that we've had. We've added coolant pipes. They're actually liquid cooled piping within the projector. There's thermal fins. We have fans that dissipate the heat as needed. And again, you just have to look at the way that you set up the projector to make sure you have proper ventilation to keep those projectors cool. But again, more compact design and better as far as the amount of energy that they consume.
Yeah, and I would add that the liquid cooling design that Optoma has applied to the vast majority of our projectors is quite unique when compared to other manufacturers. So I would say that this answer only applies to Optoma product.
Another question is any special maintenance required to preserve the life of the laser projector?
Yeah, we do get that one a lot. The answer basically is no. There is no lamp maintenance to perform, so no lamps to change. There are no filters to change. You will never really have to do anything to maintain your Optima laser projector. We would like to point out though, as Bob mentioned on the last slide, it's important in the design phase and at install time to make sure that you're allowing for proper ventilation, keeping the intake and exhaust ports on the projector clear. So while there's no maintenance, I would say be careful that you're observing all the points in the user's manual, and especially there may be some details in the user's manual that you hadn't considered. For example, we were talking about how the laser projectors, with the exception of some of our home theater stuff, all of our professionally installed data models, you can install in portrait mode, for example, making a long, tall image, which is popular in digital signage. While the majority of our ultra short throw projectors are capable of displaying in portrait mode, some of the models are only capable when turned on their right side versus on their left side. Because of the way heat is designed to flow through the unit, it's appropriate to install it one way but not the other. And you might, we've seen people erroneously make that assumption. So I would say that while maintenance is not necessary, just check the details in the user's manual when it comes to install. If you're enclosing it at all or doing anything outside of just mounting it on the ceiling or on a tabletop configuration, make sure you check the details in the owner's manual. Or if you have any questions or concerns, just contact your Optoma representative. And with that, it's time for the QuickCast Pro giveaway. The QuickCast Pro 4K giveaway. We see that quite a few questions have come in. We will follow up with everybody who submitted additional questions during the webcast. We're still going to be on for just a minute while we talk about this product and conduct the giveaway. Now would be a good time to get that question dialog box open. And if you have any questions that weren't answered during the presentation, please enter those now. And leave that question dialog box open because it's going to be important for the giveaway, which is just in a slide away here. But just want to touch upon some of the highlights of the QuickCast Pro 4K. QuickCast Pro 4K is Optoma's 4K wireless presentation system. It's essentially a wireless HDMI system. The benefits, the applied benefits, shall we say, are you can have a presenter come in, and without having to give them the Wi-Fi password or without having to waste time doing software downloads, you can just connect the receiver unit. Here we see a receiver and a transmitter. They look the same. They're essentially HDMI pucks, shall we say. The receiver unit is connected to your display. Someone comes in and wants to present. You just connect the transmitter to your source, typically a computer, press the button, and it starts displaying 4K video and audio. It handles video very well. It handles HDCP protected content, so you could connect it to a satellite box if you wanted to. 30-foot range, 6-hour battery life, a fantastic product. If you don't happen to be today's lucky winner and you'd like to get your hands on one to evaluate it, see if it's right for you or your customers, please just let your Optoma representative know, and we'll be happy to help you. Time for the giveaway.
All right, so the question is, and remember to answer in the Q&A box, is what projector series features 7,000 plus lumens, power lens shift, and integrated lenses? All right, so I'm going to go through here.
We have a
first response we have received.
We have a very, very close answer from JD. Bob, we're going to have to go to the review committee on that one.
Yeah, it looks like it was very close.
I'd say that's. I give that one a thumbs up.
Yep, on John Delmont.
Yeah, John Delmont.
Looks okay. Congratulations, John. We'll be getting in touch with you and letting you know what to do to be able to have that great QuickCast Pro starter kit sent out to you.
The answer to the question is the ZU720 series. Optoma sells both the ZU720T, which is the standard throw, and the ZU720 TST, which is the short throw version thereof. So yeah, John entered the 720. We'll go with the ZU720 series. Good enough there. John, we have your contact information. We have the email address that you registered with. And it's obviously an active email address because you got the logon information. So we'll be in touch regarding shipping you out your QuickCast Pro 4K kit. And on behalf of everybody at Optoma, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, everybody.
Have a great day.